This is Dabu7. Some updates to Hurricane Dorian as it is approaching Florida. Right now, they're saying that this thing is forecasted to hit a Category 4 for at least 2 days, Sunday into Monday, as it approaches Florida. Now, there's a lot of variables here, but right out the gate, we have the Florida governor issuing a state of emergency via executive order, declaring that all these counties that are in the path of Hurricane Dorian get prepared, be ready. He's urging everyone to use caution, and they're saying that in making this move, it ensures that the state and local governments have ample time, resources, and flexibility to prepare. They're saying that the State of Emergency Operations Center will activate to a level 2 on Thursday morning ahead of all this. Now, I've been down in Florida chasing hurricanes. I've been on the tail end. I've seen what it does to the highways, to the beach line, to the houses, everything. Gas stations will be without power, and those are things you're going to have to plan for if you're planning on being down in this area around this time. Now, this thing can shift off course. The spaghetti models here have it going a lot of different ways, but one thing's for sure. It's targeting the middle of Florida big time here, with only one model trying to run it north, 2 toward Miami, and then we actually have a couple that have it popping out into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, some of the earlier models were showing that if it did that, it had the potential to charge back up to another Category 3, Category 4, if not higher, hurricane from all that warm water. We're just going to have to watch the track as of right now. And that is some of the latest here in terms of it. So this is the area expected to be affected big time. State of emergency in effect. I will continue to put out updated forecasts and updated information. So stay tuned right here.
Breaking news. President Trump officially established the U.S. Military Space Command.
We're gathered here in the Rose Garden to establish the United States Space Command. It's a big deal. As the newest combatant command, SpaceCom will defend America's vital interests in space, the next warfighting domain. The United States combatant commands were developed to join branches of our armed forces in common cause across diverse fields of battle. Each of the United States military's combatant commands has an area of responsibility, from CENTCOM, which oversees our mission in the Middle East, to our most recent CyberCom, which we established just last year to protect Americans from the most advanced cyber threats, and also to create very, very severe and powerful offensive threats should we need them. The dangers to our country constantly evolve, and so must we. Now, those who wish to harm the United States, to seek to challenge us in the ultimate high ground of space, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. Our adversaries are weaponizing Earth's orbits with new technology targeting American satellites that are critical to both battlefield operations and our way of life at home. Our freedom to operate in space is also essential to detecting and destroying any missile launched against the United States. So just as we have recognized land, air, sea, and cyber as vital warfighting domains, we will now treat space as an independent region overseen by a new, unified geographic combatant command. The establishment of the 11th Combatant Command is a landmark moment. This is a landmark day, one that recognizes the centrality of space to America's national security and defense. Under General Raymond's leadership, SpaceCom will boldly deter aggression and outpace America's rivals by far. For 35 years, General Raymond has led and commanded space operations at every level in the U.S. Air Force. Molly, I hope you're very proud of him. I'll bet you are. I am too. He's a warrior who has integrated space capabilities to make our military even stronger and to pave the way for a new era of national defense. He's respected by everybody sitting in front of us, everybody in the military, and everybody that knows him. SpaceCom will soon be followed, very importantly, by the establishment of the United States Space Force as the sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces. And that's really something when you think about it. The Space Force will organize, train, and equip warriors to support SpaceCom's mission. With today's action, we open another great chapter in the extraordinary history of the United States military. SpaceCom will ensure that America's dominance in space is never questioned and never threatened, because we know the best way to prevent conflict is to prepare for victory. From our nation's first days, America's military blazed the trails and crossed the frontiers that secured our nation's future. No adversary on earth will ever match the awesome courage, skill, and might of American armed forces. Today we salute the heroic men and women who will serve in SpaceCom and keep America's horizons forever bright and forever free. We have budgets since we came into the administration, since the election 2016, since January 20th of 2017, we have done things with the military that few people would have thought possible. Budgets of $700 billion, $716 billion, and now $738 billion. Nobody would have thought that that was possible, but we had them approved by Republicans and Democrats, and that money is now building the most advanced equipment anywhere on earth, equipment that nobody even could have conceived of even 2 years ago. It's very necessary, and hopefully we'll never have to use it. I would now like to ask Secretary Esper to sign documents formally establishing the United States Space Command. Thank you.
Sailors, soldiers, and Marines that secure our high ground for our nation. On behalf of those men and women, we'd like to present you with a small memento to read United States Space Command Establishment, 29 August 2019. On behalf of the space warfighters, thank you for your leadership.
That's a big one. Thank you very much. I'd now like to invite Chief Master Sergeant Roger Toberman to the stage to unfurl the flag of the United States Space Command. Thank you very much.
This bright light is moving
randomly
at weird, crazy
Wait,
directions.
It's going
Here
again.
it goes.
It's going again. What the fuck? What?
Holy
Oh,
cow.
I just turned. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What is that?
What?
That is not a plane.
And it's, oh my
And-
god,
and now it's
shining
hovering?
a light at us.
And now it's shining a light at us.
Oh my god, are we about to get abducted? It just repositioned.
Is
It's
that-
still moving. It's still moving. Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
That is not a plane, and that is not a helicopter.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What? Wow. Because that was hovering for like 30 seconds.
Holy shit.
A heads up and some updated information here in regards to Dorian. Dorian is a system that we picked up a few days ago. We've been watching it, and it has approached Puerto Rico, as you can see here, and just as it's reaching Puerto Rico, it has been classified as a Category 1 hurricane. So it has broke that threshold of wind speed, although the thing is moving rather slow, northwest at only 13 miles per hour. That's up 1 mile per hour from yesterday, but it has hit 75 miles per hour. You can see the pressure there at 997. We will watch that and we'll see if it drops as it heads back over warm water here. Hitting these islands, it's kind of hitting, it's not mainland, but it's some land and shallower water. If it gets out here to deeper water and it's still warm, this could fuel it. It looks like they're expecting this thing to take a hook and hook right in toward Florida. Now, this is Thursday. This is the system here. I'm just going to go ahead and play some of the models and how they have it tracking right now. This is in the Friday. It's Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Saturday. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, into Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. They have this thing smacking into Florida. So sometime on Sunday, this hurricane will be hitting Florida per these models. This can change. Obviously, we've seen this change in the past a lot. It could go right up the coastline, could shoot off into the Gulf. A lot of different things can happen. But as of right now, this is the projected path. It looks like Florida is going to get nipped by it one way or another. So anyone there along that coastline, from Jacksonville all the way down to the Keys, or at least Miami at this point, you're probably going to be feeling some effects from this in the coming days.
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Vashem Rukakadash, Bracha Dum. So, take a look at some of the headlines here, and the biggest ones is the Space Force has now been officially built. At least Donald Trump names it. And just about the time that Donald J. Trump was also saying that he would use nuclear weapons against hurricanes, Dorian was beginning to increase speed and is now pretty much making an impact. The state of emergency has been declared. And, of course, we pray for our camps that be there. I do know about Tampa and Miami, and I know that we have other brothers that are there. So, of course, we pray the Most High protects them in this time. But like everything else, though, we know that they always have FEMA ready. And they do put people in them evacuation centers, and they do chip them. You know, you can best believe, though, that there's a sinister plan behind it. Now, does everybody get chipped? No, but certain of them do. Certain that don't have identification or real ID, I'm pretty sure does. But they're not going to talk about that on the news, no. But we talk about it here, you know. So Chris Green did a live stream yesterday. Definitely can't upload all 4 hours. Though he'd never give me a strike, as far as I know, for using his material. Because I've been using AMTV for years, and he's never given me a copyright strike. In fact, he likes the information to go out there, because the more the information goes out there, the more he can sell things, you know. Because at least his information is accurate, most of it anyways. Like he notified that the U.S. was going to attack Syria before Syria was attacked, before the others were mentioning it, you know, between him and Chad Boatsam, you know, they got on there and let us know that the U.S. was about to attack Syria. And sure enough, they did, you know, but he had the information first, so he has very good resources. Nonetheless, though, Dorian is one of the many ways that the Most High is visiting this place, because he is sick of the idolatry. He is sick of the fact that, okay, I've sent my messengers out to warn the people, and they still choose not to repent. So, you know, as in the spirit of Antichrist, which has been here a very long time, that is, those that are anti-message, you could say, because Messiah, Mashiach, means the same thing, the messenger. Well, you know, we've received this message, and we're reiterating this message. You know, I knew when I seen the prophets on the streets, and I knew that that was pure prophecy, I knew I had to back them, meaning that I was glued to it, I was drawn in, and I knew that I had to reciprocate that of what I just heard. I knew that those were my brothers and that I needed to join them. I knew that that was the truth. And that's how the Spirit hits you. You know, that's how you know that the Ruach HaKodesh is dealing with you. Because it just, you're automatically drawn in, and you keep on downloading more and more videos, trying to get it in. And it's like, wow, man, they're answering questions that I never even bothered to ask my so-called pastor, you know, went back during the days of Christianity, you know, the lie that Jesus loves everybody, that you can just do whatever the fuck you want, and then you just call upon the name Jesus and you'll be saved. But if you didn't call upon the name Jesus before you died, you go to hell, and you burn for eternity. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? For someone that loves everyone. You see how that's just so contradictory? But you see, they do that so people will join their churches and then give up all their money, you know. And we can see that, you know, there's a lot of camps that are that way too, you know, outside of Great Millstone, you know. And hey, we do a lot of cleansing even within Great Millstone, you know. That's why, you know, every year there's a house cleansing, you know. You know, Apostle Tahar declared, and if people ain't right, be an asshole, kick them out, you know. Don't let the one become stubble for the entire, you know, a.k.a. the leaven the whole bread, you see. But now, you know, things are happening at a much more quick pace. You know, you're starting to see camps pop up. GMS Germany, in particularly, you know, Hey, I didn't know it was there. I knew that there, and we have, camps out in the Middle East too. You know, I don't know how to find them, but you know, Lord willing, maybe find them. Because we're starting to speak in all the other tongues as well. So this message has gone out. So now we're seeing prophecy being fulfilled as we're getting closer and closer. As Benjamin, not a Jew, is bringing in Trump and his follies, and and then Putin is raising up his militia to come against him. You see, but we're against Gog and Magog too. We prophesy against them. Because we're against all Edomites. We prophesy against Mount Seir. So all of Edom is going to fall, which includes Russia. But now Russia's going to be thou guard unto them. People have often asked, well, if Syria is sort of the good guy, because we know in the headlines right now Syria kind of looks like the good guy and all that, but keep in mind what the prophecy says. Gog and Magog, all his militias and all that, those that are drawn to him, be thou a guard unto them. What is it telling? That those that are joined unto Gog and Magog are also going to be destroyed by the Most High, saith the Most High, Son of Man. So that just means that all these armies, this is a Walls of Jericho effect. We're not doing anything. We're not joining the military. Those are the elect of us. But you got Jake's in the militaries of the world. He's in every form of military and rank. So, that's why this kingdom has stood for so long. And on a side note, I rented a movie the other day called The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Pretty interesting movie, but, pretty much he gets run out of there. They lost the house to the bankers long ago. But there's a story that had been going around that his grandfather built that house. Well, they come to find out that it's a lie later, but, he had kind of said this, though. It was nice to believe it was true even if it wasn't true. Because we ain't got shit here, man. It'd be nice to believe, though, but there is a lot of half-truths there. Who the fuck built San Francisco? Did the slaves, us, Israelites, not build that? Of course we built this thing. We built all the kingdoms of the world. Our sweat. Our hands. We built it. We're the ones that built the cities. And hey, as they will rebuild, we will throw down. So, nonetheless, though, Esau has now built his Space Force, as Trump has announced, and then now the Most High visiting this place via King Dorian. So we're going to take a look at the screencast. Hope these videos are edifying, and we'll try to chop up and get the goodies out of Chris Green's 4 hours of coverage of the hurricane. We'll try to get the best of that and take a look at other edifying videos. So I hope that everything is good and that you can eat of this roll. All right, now on to the screencast.
Shabbat Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Shema Shai by Hashem Rakak double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right, to the scattered Israelites among the heathen, scattered around the four corners of the earth, bringing on that confusion. To the hopefully elect, the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson. It's 0:00 a.m. Woke up this morning to a message in the group me from the head of the Des Moines camp, the beloved brother Mathathia, and it was a video. This one right here is called The Arrival. Everything is about to change in 2019. And what Esau is doing is he's telling you his plans. All right? And then he goes into this whole rant, and they're talking about things that they never talk about in the Bible, in the churches. Into this long drawn out video about the Antichrist, the Antichrist, the Antichrist, as if it's one person. When the Antichrist is anything that is against the scriptures. Anything or anyone is the spirit of the Antichrist. All right, and then they start mentioning the name Jesus when we've proved a million times over that Jesus is not the name of the Lord. All right, and they're telling you that they're going to use Project Bluebeam. They've already gotten their mind. They've already brainwashed the people into believing that Cesare, the image of Cesare Borgia, which is really Serapis all over again, is the Lord, and that we're dealing with that false image, and then this new image that they have created in the minds of the people of who and what Satan is, via movies like Damien and that whole sort of thing. All right, or it was those Christian movies that came out that mangled the scriptures, the Left Behind series. All right, he talks about the son of perdition. All right, but the Bible makes it clear that the wicked, all right, had dominion over the earth. And then the Bible tells you that the wicked is the nation of Edom. All right, there are many books modern day that tells you that Esau, Edom, the people refer to themselves as white, who self-proclaim themselves as white, is the nation of Edom. And Edom is the head spirit collectively of the Antichrist. Let's go to the book of Job 9:24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we're looking at a group of people who are going to come along and cover up the faces of the true judges of the earth and put up their own, like Mount Rushmore. They cover up the images of the Israelites and say that they're the people of the Lord, that they're God. If we fast forward a little bit, matter of fact, let's get one scripture and let a little bit of this video play, because this video could easily be a 4-part series that's an hour long with the amount of precepts that can come out. But you know, Jake don't have that patience like that. You know, I know Jake has a very short attention span, because actually as I've watched the 2 videos that I'm about to use, the amount of scriptures that popped in my head just watching 5 minutes of each video was, you know, it would just be too much. So I'm gonna try to condense this into something and make it hard and fast and to the point. All right, this is First Maccabees, the 1st chapter, and it says, and it happened that after Alexander the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius the king of the Persian Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So in his race, all right, so he was the first of his race to reign over Greece. What race was Alexander? Alexander is the son of Philip the Macedonian. And Philip the Macedonian, right there in the King James 1611 Bible, and many others, I imagine, can be traced directly back to Esau, Edom. All right? And the men of the Great Millstone have done probably hundreds, if not thousands of videos, over 1,000 videos on that very topic, proving that through scripture, through history. All right? So I'm just going to, in the same chapter, I'm going to jump down to verse 9. I'll start at verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years, then died, and his servant bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth, and out of them came a wicked root, Antiochus surnamed Epiphanes. So out of these new Greeks, these new people who had taken over Greece and started calling themselves Greeks, came that wicked root, And that people is the biblical Edomites, who today refer to themselves as Caucasians.
21st century.
God has his son Jesus, and one day, listen, Satan will have his son. Not exactly in the way that God's son has come, because Jesus is God incarnate, but in a way, Satan will have his version of Jesus, his imitation of Jesus. We have Jesus Christ, and Satan will have his Antichrist. May not be what you expect. He won't be dressed head to toe in black with 666 tattooed on his forehead and steam rising as he walks by. His eyes won't glow red. Rather, Antichrist will be suave, intelligent, engaging, magnetic, charismatic. He'll do it no other.
He'll have a bald face, a tie, and a suit on. All right? That's what he'll have. Okay? This is also in the book of Maccabees, since we were there. The 3rd chapter and the 48th verse. All right? Actually, I'm going to start at verse 45 and read down to 48. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold, and the heathen had their habitation in that place. And the joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. So the sanctuary was full of heathen, Edomites. All right? Because who had taken them over and ran them out? Edomites. All right? They were the main heathen that were there, and the heathen that were in control. All right? We're talking about the men of Alexander. And Alexander indeed was an Edomite. All right? So let's jump to verse 48 now. So actually, I'm going to just keep reading. Verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Mashpha over against Jerusalem, for Mashpha was a place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes. All right? And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So when they opened up their scrolls, these Edomites had put their images up, saying that they were the people of the Lord. All right? That would be this right here.
His version of Jesus, his son. Not son, Jesus. And
that guy right there. Because Esau is hell-bent on saying that he is the people of the Lord. That he is they're the angels, they're God, they're the Israelites, they're the chosen. When this man has biblical leprosy. All right? When it talks about that pale flesh, and when it's pale all over, then you're a clean leper. When it's spotty, then you're unclean. All right? And there are many, many points and many, many different ways that you can approach this, the watching of this video. But what they're also telling you too is that they're going to usher in their own version of the truth. All right? They're going and they've been brainwashing telling you this lie right here for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And actually, there was a point when.
So that's supposed to be Judas Iscariot, but that's all right. But let's just grab a quick scripture, all right, to talk about the Jews and their physical. 2 scriptures. Let's grab 2 scriptures. For any of you new people, there's always someone new that's watching, that describes the physical characteristics and appearance of the Jews. And this is the spirit, because I turn right to it. This is Jeremiah 14:2. All right. And it reads, Judah mourneth. So the Jews is Judah. And Judas Iscariot was from the tribe of Judah. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Now, when you read that in the Hebrew, you go into the blue letter. That word there for black is kadara, which literally means dark-skinned. All right? And then, if you look up Kedar, it also tells you that Kedar was the son of Ishmael, and that he was a very dark individual, dark-skinned. Dark is the tense of Kedar. As a matter of fact, let's go to Lamentations. All right, let's go to the book of Lamentation. 4 and 8. Let's find it. There we go. And it reads, their visage, meaning when you look upon them, is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. All right, so it tells you that they're skinny and black because they were starving to death. All right, so meaning skinny and dark skin, not actually black. Right, really brown, but dark, like, because it says Judah is black unto the ground when you're in Jeremiah 14th chapter, meaning they're dark like the earth. The earth is like different colors of brown, from a dark chocolate to a light brown, depending on what earth you're picking up. All right, so Esau is a liar, another characteristic of the Antichrist. All right, so let's go to another video that I was watching earlier, because everything that Esau is proposing in this video, all the destruction that he's going to bring on,
towels, all right, since their inception,
and all the commercials, man, and all the video. Let me just click off to that, because that'll be the damn. Well, those were Edomites. That was the devil.
Reality is not reality. You've been lied to by everyone and everything. Big Pharma is just another major example. They give you. So the ultimate red pill is realizing that you're fighting Satan. It's real.
And there you are. This is a video called Dow Collapse Imminent, Social Engineering Preparing for Darkness. And then you have this other video called The Arrival. Esau is about to make his moves. And I highly suggest that you watch this video over the other one, to be honest with you. This one goes even harder. And this is Psalm 64 and 8 at its greatest, because Christopher Green lays it all out, man. This is probably the most, and Christopher Green has made some pretty intense videos, but this is the best one by far, because the things are getting so bad that Esau is starting to reveal his hand. He's starting to expose himself. Just like that movie I did the video on the other day, Ready or Not, and the man's name, Satan's name, was Mr. LaBelle, and it was Shapatya of the camp of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, who caught the fact that LaBelle, the way LaBelle was spelled, those same letterings also spell Belial. So Esau is exposed, man. So you are fighting Satan, and these are the sort of things that Satan would have the power to do. Keep all people unto himself. He is the son of perdition, as mentioned in the other video that Apostle Tahar suggested that or put out the order that all brothers respond to it. But this video right here responds to it. Let's see.
They spray your skies with chemtrails because it's called depopulation.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Lit the Amazon on fire.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
They've lit it on fire. It's not burning. They started the blaze.
It's not he, but they, as he's saying. They, the Antichrist is plural, many, not one. That's another fallacy that Esau's trying to push, that lie. But this Edomite is telling you the truth.
For a reason. Because it's about population control. It also conveniently pushes you into the narrative that now we need a one world and one order globalist solution to the problem. Isn't that convenient? Every country's got to come together now, okay, to solve the problem of the Amazon forest fire burning. But they set the fire. They're the ones poisoning the planet. They're the ones spreading the lies, the misinformation, the false information. You see, folks, again, I'll close with this. The ultimate red pill is realizing that you're fighting Satan. The ultimate red pill is realizing that these people hate you. Okay? They've said with their own words that you're a useless eater. Okay? Warren Buffett, and this is kind of a side note.
Hey, it said that the son of perdition, this is one of the things that he would do, that he'd be exposed. And now Esau is exposed, man. So they're getting ready to shut down this internet. Depopulation has started a long time ago. He even tells you in this video too how they were purposely aiming disease and things like of that nature at Jacob, mainly at Judah. AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea. You know, but now these things are affecting Esau, Edom. Yeah, he's telling you that. Right? He even tells you that AIDS and cancer was given to certain people. AIDS was created. You know, and on another side note, Dr. Sebi cured it and has the cure to it. And they constantly tell you on the radio, on commercials, that there's no cure for it. And there is. Because why? They want to poison you with their medicine. All right? That's that son of perdition who's been exposed in Thessalonians. All right? It's not talking about a singular man, but about a race of people, the race of the Caucasians, who are the Edomites. All right? This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, because they want globalism. They want a one world government. All right? Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. He's created hell in the jungles of the Amazon. I also heard that there's even a bigger fire burning in Africa right now. So what's that going to do to the world oxygen supply? What damage is that going to do to the circle of life? That's definitely going to have a major effect on depopulation. All right. It says he never keepeth at home. Let me just start that again. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, that's his false philosophies and religion, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto himself all people. And now the world is turning on Esau, Edom. All right? Distraction news, and like Christopher Green said in this video, they control the media. Why? So they can brainwash and keep control over the sheeple here in America.
Has more cash on hand today. It includes over half of his total holdings of Berkshire Hathaway. It's like $121 billion on the sidelines right now. This is the guy that says never bet against America. Well, he's betting against America, earning negative interest rates on his cash right now. Why? Because he expects a global depression. That's why. And it's also why he, the owner, okay, one of the chief executives of the United States Corporation of America, received bailouts in 2008-09. He's the Oracle bailouts for a reason. Okay, it's why Goldman Sachs, American Express, Wells Fargo all received bailouts, because he's the CFO, so to speak, of the United States Corporation of America. You, tuning in, are the slave. You're the security. So even before you were born and you were birthed and you were put into the child's ward, right? The mother's ward. Notice how they use that too, ward, right? The only other wards you should be familiar with are the ones that they have in prison. Okay? That's the point, though. You are in prison. From the moment you were birthed out of your mom's birth canal, you've been under maritime law. Look this up for yourself. Maritime law of the British Crown. Just like when a ship docks for the first time, okay, it's birthing itself. just like you were birthed. And then it has to give, I can't think of the exact word, a memorandum. There's a specific word I'm looking for that I'm missing. Maybe one of you can come up with it for me. But you give a memorandum of what you have on the ship. Like, what are you bringing into our country? What are you bringing into our economy? The ship is birthed, okay, so that it can be taxed, just like you were birthed by your mother's birth canal, so that you could be taxed, because you are owned. This is what you need to understand. They have ownership over you. You are not sovereign, okay? And this is the biggest lie, and it's the biggest scam that's been sold to the American people. And the minute you realize that the ultimate red pill is that you're fighting Satan, because again, what are they trying to do? They're attempting to transition you through operations and programming to a transhuman. I mean, that's not me making it up. They're telling you to your face right now. Transhuman clinical trials begin in a couple of months. The elites have already merged, if you're not already aware. They've already merged. They are the AI. They've already transitioned to take the mark of the beast, because the ultimate understanding, the ultimate truth, staring all of us hard-hitting and in our face, is that we're fighting evil. We're fighting darkness, and we're fighting Satan himself.
So the Antichrist is here, man.
So the ultimate red pill.
All right? The Antichrist is already here, and his ultimate goal is to have everyone take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right? Now, we'll finish with that. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And a lot of these churches and that false pastor who was giving you all them lies in that previous video, he's going to take that mark of the beast, because they're going to tell you that it's not so. That is not the mark of the beast, when it is, because it's the Bible told you clearly. So anything that's going to be put in your body which allows you to buy, sell, or trade, or disallows you to buy, sell, or trade, is something to be fearful of. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai Bashem Rakakwadash Wa Abba. Shalom.
Okay, so we're just going to try to get a sense of it. It was almost 5 hours to be exact. So we're going to try to get some sense out of it and try to, get the grind, if you know what I mean.
Hey guys, Christopher Green, AMTV Alternative Media Television's August 29, 2019. I want to put out an emergency last-minute broadcast. Of course, Chet Booksam was reporting on this 2 days ago. People said, oh, no, there's the hurricane. It's not a big deal. It's a Cat 1. Don't worry about it. You guys are fearmongers. Now it's turned into a full-blown nightmare. They've upgraded the storm. They say it's very likely it'll be a Category 4. Store shelves are emptying. I've got subscribers, thousands of subscribers from the Florida Panhandle area telling me that they've already ran out of water in all the stores. They're running out of canned goods. They're running out of gas. Floridians, and thank God for this, are actually taking this very seriously. They are stocking up. And, of course, we've seen some just massive biblical hurricanes here in recent months and years, whether or not this was the devastation of Harvey or Andrew in years past. We had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of homes combined, flooded, Major insurance contracts have gone bust. And this brings up a lot of conspiracy theories that these events are weather modification events. And a very, very real technology called HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, that's H-A-A-R-P. You should look this stuff up for yourself. This is very real weather modification that can be geoengineered to cause these types of events. Now, people say things like, Christopher, why would our government geoengineer a storm that is like a nuclear bomb going off in New Orleans or Texas or Florida? Well, maybe they want it. Maybe an enemy nation or a rogue threat, an enemy of the United States of America, as we're constantly propagandized that Russia is the enemy and China is the enemy and Iran is the enemy. If the United States has this technology and possesses it, why would they not use it against us as a form and an act of war? Now, again, if you remember Hurricane Andrew, there's 6,500 houses damaged, more than 124,000 others suffering other ailments, cost $27.3 billion in damage. And to me, I look at this, I see an increased frequency of these weather events. Not only is it a very big, big deal, but to me, I see increased frequency, increased severity. Okay, I look all around me, all across the world, whether or not it's the Amazon being engineered to burn, right? I talked about that a few days ago. They set the fire. Okay, globalists set the fire intentionally. Why? Because it's a convenient narrative for the New World Order. Now they need a one world solution. Every country's got to come together conveniently now to solve the problem of the Amazon fire. So isn't that convenient? Isn't it interesting? So Florida's bracing for a massive hurricane. Florida residents are picking the shelves clean of bottled water, lining up at gas stations here on Thursday. And really taking this seriously. You can look at some maps here, already hitting Puerto Rico. It's on its way past the Dominican Republic, moving northeast of Cuba, and it looks like we're going to get a direct hit, again, to that Florida panhandle there, moving and shaking through Miami and into Tampa. So this is a Category 1 hurricane, allegedly. We told you it would be worse. A lot of people said we were fear-mongering. Now it's being upgraded to an emergency alert Cat 4 by Sunday. So this is going to hit with a vengeance over the long holiday weekend when a lot of shops, a lot of banks are closed. Of course, all the banks are closed because, the banks only work 9 to 3 and then close on Saturdays, Sundays, holidays. They barely work. It's another reason why I talk so much about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin never closes. It's an international market that's constantly on. It never takes a break. It never goes on vacation. No country's responsible for it. It's completely sovereign. I talked about this earlier today. Also looking at the Hurricane Dorian model track guidance report here. We can see again here the storm on track to hit, run through Miami with a direct hit to Tampa based on the information we have thus far. So this thing's going to be absolutely big. It is going to be massive, and millions of Americans are exposing themselves to this and the risk of these epic type of storms. It's still amazing to me how few people actually prepare, how few people have food storage, water supplies, water filtration system. And it always blows my mind because we're almost sold out on all of our food storage, by the way. If you guys aren't aware, I've been selling food storage for 10 years now. We do a really good job with it. Offer probably the most competitive pricing out there on the internet. I encourage you, if you want to support us and get the products that you need, I'm almost sold out. That was the point I was getting to. It always blows my mind that people wait till the last minute and then they buy food storage during the crisis. It's like the most insane thing, and I see it time and time again. We actually had a backlog during Hurricane Harvey. You can check this out. Go to my store at store.amtvmedia.com right now. We had a backlog for over 60 days at one point. It got that bad because there was so much panic by millions of people that got caught off guard. Then they were flooded. And then, of course, what we saw with Hurricane Katrina, many people unfortunately dying, and then the late response by President Bush, they declared martial law. They confiscated guns. The president of the United States at the time, he really didn't take it seriously enough, or maybe that was his intention. Maybe that was part of the depopulation management courtesy of FEMA there. But even today, here we sit, August 29, 2019. I just have a couple units left. So if you guys want to, get what you need, get it now is what I'm saying. Get it before it hits this weekend.
And that's just it. That's how this truth is, man. Get it. Get it while you can. You know this devil's planning to take us down because we're telling the truth out there. Just the fact that Chris Green's even talking about HARP, and he's talking about FEMA, and he's talking about all the other deadly intentions, and he's telling you that they would purpose a weapon like that against the people, just tells you that, yeah, man, they took down the other one, Alex Jones, who would tell you things like that. So, it's out there, man, and that's why we look to the alternative media, because at least they'll talk about this stuff. It's no longer called crazy or whatever. So, nonetheless, though, this is to make landfall within the next few days. Been upgraded to a Cat 4, going to be a Cat 4. So of course we pray for the safety of our camps and all that, but like everything else, though, we know that, of course, this, he even mentioned the Amazon burning. The burning, and what is it, a brother of ours from the LA camp who happened to come across the information stated, he said that there was a Rothschild plan to burn California. Sure enough, even I, being in the midst of it, I never believed the official story up here that it was a flat tire, that a tire went flat on a rail, and that thing scraped and caused all those fires. They tried to say that, and then I saw the trailer that supposedly caught fire, and it's a brand new trailer with just a blown tire. There's no signs of burns on the side of the metal or anything else. It just looks like a regular hitched trailer, but no burns around the sides of it where it was supposed to be starting all the fires. You see, I never believed the official story. And, of course, burning down the Amazon, burning everything. But that's what this devil wants, though, is a depopulation plan, which is now, he's closing in on the homeless here, which are his people, by the way. I talked about that before on the streets, that pretty much, though, if Esau is so pro-race, then why doesn't he consider the homeless part of his race? He's not pro-race. He's just a piece of shit, especially them goddamn gutter rats and fucking Amalekites, which even the Edomites, they can't stand them fucking gutter rats and fucking pieces of shit, because they're the rudest people. Hey, what are you doing here, and just, they can't even fucking talk right, because they speak with such a bastard tongue, and they have that nauseating sound, them fucking, female fucking Amalekites, that, like the fucking nanny, Okay, I'm rambling on a little bit. So let's take a look at some other things. We know that Dorian's about to hit.
Цель А-51 подавил.
Я гранидер.
On August 27th, joint forces of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and other militant groups launched an attack on positions of the Syrian Arab Army SAA near the town of Abu Dali in southern Idlib. Clashes between the SAA and militants erupted in the villages of Tal Marak, Salmuya, Jadouya, Sham al-Hawa, and Abi Omar. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham employed at least one suicide vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. Nonetheless, they were not able to overrun the SAA defense. Pro-militant sources claimed that the militant forces captured a battle tank and 3 armored vehicles from the SAA. Pro-government sources reported that at least 37 militants were killed, and a T-55 battle tank and BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicle belonging to them were destroyed. The developments near Abu Dali, a Russian observation post that is located in the same area, demonstrate that no de-escalation of the situation in Idlib is possible while Hayat Tahrir al-Sham operates there. Meanwhile, the SAA deployed a batch of reinforcements to northern Latakia. The government forces have been seeing the militant-held town of Kin Sabah as a high-priority target in the area. However, all previous attempts to capture it have resulted in no progress. On August 28th, pro-militant sources reported that a supposed Syrian Air Force airstrike hit a Turkish observation post near Sheir Mager in northwestern Hama. Later, it appeared that the Syrian Su-24 dropped a strike near the post, causing no damage to it. The Turkish Defense Ministry also denied that any of its posts were targeted. Radical militant groups, including Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, often deploy their positions used to shell SAA positions near Turkish observation posts, using Turkish troops as de facto human shields. On the same day, Jaish al-Nasir reported that one of its field commanders, Mohammed Turki, and 2 of his bodyguards were eliminated near the town of Al-Akor. The group blamed Russian special forces. The situation on the contact line in southern Idlib remains tense.
Moron, the least of the flock, drawing them into this war. Israeli forces getting into Iraq on forged U.S. passports. Iraq's Harakah al-Nujabah. So, you have Amalek entering into Iraq. Senior Israeli forces are getting into Iraq on fake U.S. passports. Iraq's pro-government Harakah al-Nujabah Secretary General Akram al-Kabi says, Israelis are entering Iraq using fake American passports, al-Kabi told Deja News Network on Thursday night. Recently, a female Israeli general entered Iraq, he said, adding she currently runs an Israeli military camp located in the Iraqi Kurdistan capital, Erbil. We are well aware that Israeli troops are also present at the U.S. Embassy as well as the Ain al-Assad military base, the Popular Resistance Force chief said. Certain efforts by a foreign power are underway to revive the Daesh terrorist group in the Arab country. What have we been saying? His remarks came in the wake of recent airstrikes in Iraq against the positions of pro-government Popular Mobilization Units, PMU, also known as Hashad al-Shabi. So, again, man, the least of the flock drawing them into this war. Following strikes, the spokesman of Kataib Hezbollah, another prominent Iraqi resistance group, said the attacks on the positions of Hashad al-Shabi were an attempt by the United States and Israeli state to revive Daesh. Mohammed Mahi added the next stage, which has been planned by the United States, is to return thousands of foreign-backed terrorists to the Iraqi-Syrian border. So, you know how this thing goes, man. As soon as Syria is close to liberating the country, of course, the terrorists, Daesh, which is really Mossad, are coming back. Yeah. The attacks were not accidental, but rather planned in advance after continued monitoring operations by Israeli state and American drones, Mahi pointed out. On Tuesday, Iraqi Prime Minister Adil al-Mahdi said his country's armed forces were fully prepared to respond firmly to any act of aggression launched either from outside or inside Iraq. So, you can tell, though, that these countries are aligned with Russia and Persia against, Mossad. The Prime Minister pointed to the high readiness of our armed forces to defend Iraq and civilians and state institutions, in addition to diplomatic missions operating in Iraq. His media office said in a statement released following a cabinet session. He also stressed that Iraqi forces' readiness to respond firmly and by all means available to any aggression launched either from outside or inside Iraq. And again, we know that, to build up the terrorism in Syria, of course Mossad used Iraq to do it. Daesh unleashed a campaign of death and destruction in Iraq in 2014, overrunning the vast swathes of territory and lightning attacks. Iraqi government forces and allied fighters then launched operations to eliminate the terror outfit and retake lost territory. So you can see Iraq, they want their country back from these goddamn terrorists too, which of course is provided by the United States and Israeli state, the least of the flock jawing them out. But wait, there's more. Iraq to file UN complaint against Israeli state over attacks on Hashid al-Shababi basis lawmaker, the Israeli attack against Iraq. Iraqi parliamentarian said the Baghdad government is preparing a complaint to the United Nations after investigations revealed that the Israeli regime is certainly behind several attacks on the basis of pro-government popular mobilization units, better known by the Arabic world as Hashid al-Shababi. Ahmad al-Assadi, spokesman of the Fatah Alliance, told journalists on Thursday in his office in central Baghdad that government probes would name Israeli state. Some of the government investigations have reached a conclusion that the perpetrator behind some of the attacks is absolutely certainly Israeli state. He said, declining to provide details on the evidence. The government is preparing sufficient evidence and documents to complain to the UN Security Council. It won't submit a complaint against an unknown entity, Assadi said. So, either way, though, they're forming a petition to complain. But you know what's going to happen. Absolutely nothing, man. Or even if the UN did back them, you know that the Amaleks would keep on drawing them into this war. You know that the United States will still go against the UN, which, is going to cause, these nations to hate the whore. He added that al-Shabaab forces had been expecting an attack amid rising tensions between Washington and Tehran since President Trump withdrew the U.S. from the 2015 nuclear deal in May 2018 and introduced harsh sanctions against Iran. So, pretty much, though. Yeah, at least the flock drawing them out into this. But wait, there's more. Oh boy, so you can see the headline here. Syrian forces to ceasefire in Idlib de-escalation zone from Saturday. So, you know what this means? The terrorists get to regroup, because Gomer and all his bands. The Russian Reconciliation Center for Syria says Syrian government forces would cease fire in the de-escalation zone of Syria's embattled northwestern province of Idlib from Saturday morning. An agreement was reached on a unilateral ceasefire by Syrian government forces in the Idlib de-escalation zone from 6 a.m. on August 31st, the center said in a statement released on Friday. The statement said the ceasefire aimed to stabilize the situation in Idlib, urging foreign-sponsored Takfiri militant groups in the region to abandon armed provocations and join the peace process. So again, Assad is allowing them to surrender.
You know, hey, man, you know, any other country, man? Well, let's just face it, though. You know, pretty much, though, he knows it's a foreign entity that's, he's just giving them a chance, you know. So you can't say that he's this brutal dictator that just wants to murder everyone. No, he's giving them a chance to surrender. The statement said the ceasefires aim to stabilize the situation in Idlib. The announcement came after an unarmed Syrian military source said government forces had gained control over 10 villages located east of the already liberated town of Khan Shaykhun in Idlib province. So, you know, of course they're taking it back, and so what's happening with Iraq is, of course, they plan to reinforce Daesh terrorists to come into Syria. Because, of course, you know, the old deal with Gomer, that's gone. That's, you know, Israeli state is not really running Gomer for the moment. Gomer's now with Russia. You see what I'm saying? All this is backfired. So they got to get their Daesh terrorists built up so that way they can go on the Syrian Democratic Forces side where the United States can provide protection for the terrorists. Okay, and then there's more. Russia launches nuclear-capable missiles during drills, and it looks like there's a video for this. Soviet military video earlier. So there's some of their nuclear capable missiles, ICBMs. They have 200 million of these. As Hulk Hogan says, what you gonna do, brother, when 200 million nuclear missiles devastate this place? It's gonna be a great day. Oh, happy day, it really will be. So I know that we're past this notion that God loves everybody, that he wants to save everyone, especially when you get to this, which the Christian church, the Edomite Christian church will never talk about this. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Most High, Yahweh, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle, which is what's happening now. All these places have become resistant to Esau, Edom, as taking one half of Esau, Edom, which is Gog and Magog. The pride of thine heart that deceived thee. You know, people have this idea that, America will never be attacked. America's the strongest. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. Talk about you cave dwellers, you red Hebrew Edomites, whose habitation is as high. That saith in his heart, who will bring me down to the ground? Talking about you so-called Americans. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and I've even heard fucking so-called born-again Edomite Christians claim that, that America's the eagle in the Bible. Yeah, it is. Also known as Basra. And thou that settest thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High. You know, and you're seeing it, man. We're prophesying against Mount Seir now. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Before, you never even heard of the Illuminati, but now it's a common word. You never knew what went on behind them secret meetings, but you now know about Bohemian Grove. Shall I not in the day, saith the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Yeah, man, they can't even pull off a false flag anymore because of the fact that, too many people now are aware of it. Chris Green, who is an Edomite, is also well aware of harp and all those things. And it was talking about harp. So, I'm going to jump down here. So, here's the promise made unto us, only to the Israelites. And this is the big one that this Edomite Christians can't get over, is the fact that this word was really only meant for the Israelites. That you have to have the bloodline. Your bloodline has to go back to Jacob, or else, nah, man, you ain't part of the elect. First you have to have the bloodline, and then secondly, Rakah Kadash, the Most High, has to be dealing with you. Because if he ain't dealing with you, hey, you might be the seed of Jacob, but he's already rejected you in the essence that, you're just going to have to die and then come back in the kingdom. So either way, the promises will still be made to the house of Yasharahla, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. In other words, the whole nation of Yasharahla will be saved, but they will have to be born again through us, the prophets, the kings of Yasharahla. And they'll be reborn in the kingdom, the 2/3 that didn't make it on this side, but they will be subject unto us. They'll be our children. We will be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Again, that, all these other things. This is why we say, hey, don't take any spoils from this place, man. We're going to get it all anyways. So just relax. Don't worry about how this fucking devil stole from you. Even though, yeah, you get mad. It's like, that motherfucker, like when my car got broken into, But it's like, nah, man. The Most High is going to take vengeance for us. I just got to wait on him to come, and then him to give the order. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. They will build, but the Most High will throw down. Quoted in another scripture. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remain of the house of Esau. What? Oh, so this means that eventually Esau's going to be burned up. And there shall be none remaining in the house of Esau. For the Most High has spoken it. Again. And they of the south, which is the southern kingdom, shall possess the mount of Esau. And they of the plain, the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. So pretty much, man, we're going to get the kingdom back. We're going to be the rulers of this world, And the only joint heirs to us is going to be our children, the 2/3 of Israelites that did not make it. But they did, in the essence, because we kept the faith, and we showed forth by going out and teaching this to those that were lost, those that would receive it. He's only dealing with an elect right now, but that's just how this kingdom has to come back. But Esau, there ain't going to be anything remaining of. And that's why the Most High is allowing this to go into place, and that's why the least of the flock is drawing him out. Esau had 2 reigns, and his second reign is just about out. He would only be able to continue a short season. So I hope all this has been edifying, and like everything else, though, just keep on getting this in while you still can. This won't be around forever, so get as much meat as you can. For that, I want to say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakadash, Barakatam, and Wa Abal Babal.
1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. This one's called stylistic, trendy Israelites. And this is, pretty much dedicated to you guys out there. I'm just going to speak about Great Millstone. The rest of the other camps, your leaders got to deal with you. But you men that are in Israel, you men that are in Great Millstone, you're not supposed to be shaving your beard off. You're not supposed to be getting lineups. You're not supposed to be getting the closest 3, 4, 5 o'clock shadow you can just to barely pass the minimum, of having a beard. Stop getting fades. Stop lining up your heads. Stop wearing that long hair. If any of you got dreadlocks, you shouldn't be having no dreadlocks, not in Great Millstone. Stop shaving your mustache. You got those big beards because it's the in thing now. Because back in the days before it was a so-called wearing a beard is not a fashion statement. Although now it is a fashion statement because you have these hip hop artists and these young jakes that wear these big beards, and some of these young jakes in the world, they be making some of you guys look bad, man. Some of you guys refuse to keep a beard on your face, man. You got to cut that out, man. This, the scriptures are clear in what it says. A beard is something you can keep on your face. It's not like if you have a job where you have to work on a Sabbath. If you have like a regular job and the Sabbath might fall on a Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday or whatever the case is, and you got to work that particular day. This is something that you have total control of. And this is something that's in the scriptures, in the law. This is not. See, this truth is not for you guys to do whatever you want or when it's convenient for you to do. This is either you do what the Lord said or you get to stepping, man. There's work to be done. This is Leviticus 19:27. You shall not round the corners of your heads. That's clear. Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. The word mar is to destroy. So you're not supposed to be getting lineups. You ain't supposed to be cutting your beard down so much to where it's just barely hugging your face. So you got to get a microscope, to see the beard, the hair on your face. But you got those on the fence Israelites, those stylistic, trendy Israelites, that want to look good for the ladies, that are ashamed to wear a beard on their face without chopping it up and making it look trendy. That mentality is gonna get you killed, man. The Most High ain't playing, man. The scriptures are clear in it when they said to come out of the world. You guys, some of you guys probably, still sagging your pants off your ass, trying to, rock the styles of the world. Just get you a shirt and some pants and some sneakers, and that's it. Call it a day. You don't got to go get no damn Skippies. You can get some Nikes or some, or some New Balance or whatever the case is. Some jeans and leave the stuff of the world to the world, man. Stop trying to look like the world. We're on a different wavelength, than the world is. This is the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed, mean changed, by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And that's it. When you're trying to, get them fancy haircuts, and, you thinking that, you'll wear a bandana, or wear some kind of thing around your head so people can't notice the cut, You ain't fooling nobody but yourself. You know? So you guys out there, man, stop shaving off your beard. Stop lining up your beard. Stop shaving off your mustache or trimming your mustache down. You know? You better not be trimming your eyebrows. You know, stop getting fades. No, get a regular cut, man. You better not be rocking no goddamn dreadlocks either. And you guys that got long hair that's getting it's getting ridiculously long, you need to trim it, man. You know, you see some brothers out there with their long ass hair, you know, they get it braided, it's falling past their shoulder. You know, that shit for women. You know, I used to have long hair. You know, that shit is vanity, man. And, you know, eventually after a while, you know, spirit got on me. I said, fuck it, I just cut it off. Then I grew it again, and then I cut it off, and that was it. You know? It's very easy, man. But with Jake, man, Jake is just, they're always trying to find a loophole. They're always trying to find a gray area, a spot on the fence that they can teeter-totter on, you know? Because they think they're smart, you know? They think they're smart. Jake thinks that they're smarter than the Most High. So they'll go and they'll find there goes a loophole there. Like the vow of the Nazarite. You got guys that come in the truth, they have long hair. They don't want to cut their long hair, so they think that the vow of the Nazarite is a loophole for them. You're playing a very dangerous game with the words of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, man. You know? And pretty much that's all I got, man. You know, I'm not gonna make this a super long video, but you guys out there, man, just cut your hair regular. Stop shaving off your beard. Stop shaving off your mustache. You know, stop lining up your head, getting fades. You know, stop it.
Shalom, Apostle Tar coming back at you with the truth, giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakodash. And I'm going to try to make this quick. Let's see where the spirit goes with this. Anyway, this is a response to, is Satan a spirit or a man? And this was put up by GMS South Carolina 04. This is, you see on the screen there, you see this is like 3 minutes and 16 seconds in of the video, and an individual named Eli Yahu Yasha'ala put his comment in: Satan is not a spiritual demon, he is a man. And Manat Zakbar put a response to his statement, which shows you that you have Israelites out there, they'll learn 3 or 4 scriptures and they think they're master teachers, and they're not master teachers. It says, if the man would have studied and really went into the scriptures, he would see that Satan, and we're going to look up the word Satan, see what it actually means. It's from a Hebrew word, a shatan, which is, when you go through the scriptures, and we're going to go through all these scriptures, or most of them, you're going to find out that Satan, depending on the context of the scriptures, is either a man, men, Esau, or a spirit, depending on the context of the scriptures, depending on where you go in the scriptures. So the reply from Manat Zakbar is, let me see if I can read it. It says, Yahu Yasha'ala, Satan is not a man what region is he from? Well, Satan is a man. It depends on the context. And when is he? I can't see this too well. Let me blow this up. Okay, Eliyahu. Yahoo is the the prime minister of or the king of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. So he's got that Hebrew that the so-called Jews speak, but then he calls himself Yasha Allah, so he got that correct, which leads me to believe that he follows us, but he kind of, he takes a little from different videos, and I wonder if he's from a particular camp, or is he, like I said, you have a lot of Israelite groups out there that, since the individual group from One West put videos on YouTube, you got a lot of guys that watch videos and they'll study the videos and they'll make garments, and then they'll just go out and come up with some name, and they'll go out there like the Most High dealt with them. No, a lot of these groups, and there's a lot of break-off groups, even from GMS, that learned this truth and kind of went on their own and kind of changed certain things, and sometimes changed everything that we taught. They just, y'all went off on this, y'all went off on that, so they got their own thing. A perfect example is ITR Israelites. They just took everything, pretty much everything, damn near everything that we taught. They just said, nah, they went off on that, it really means this, and they went off on this, it really means that. Anyway, it says Eli, Yahu, Yasha Allah. Satan is not a man. Well, he is a man. I'll show that in the scriptures, and a spirit. Like I said, you got to deal with the context. It says, what region is he from? Now, when he asks that question, he's saying, if Satan is just a man, then he would have to come from the nation of Satan, Satan's nation. It says, what region is he from, and where is his lineage? Well, his lineage is Esau, the Edomites, which his nationality is Esau, the Edomites, and you so-called white people are the Edomites. No ifs, ands, or buts. But you don't want to accept the fact that you're Edomites, because you would have to accept the fact that you're going into slavery and you're going to be destroyed. It says in the Bible, is he an Israelite? Who is his progenitor? Isaiah 8 verse 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. So now this is what I did, and very simple. I simply put in the word Satan, and that's what this guy should have did. Okay, Satan comes up 56 times and 49 verses in the King James Version. Now it says in First Chronicles 21 verse 1, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Now that wasn't no Edomite at that particular time. Esau was a servant under David, so ain't no servant gonna be working, breaking up rocks and all of a sudden whisper in David's ear, David, I think you should start counting Israel. This is obviously the spirit. Job 1 verse 6. Now these are now there was a day when the sons of the Most High, which are the angels, so you can understand, came to present themselves before Yahweh. And Satan came also among them. So Satan is in the midst of these angels. So this is obviously a spirit. Seventh verse, Job 1 verse 7. And Yahweh said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord, the spirit Satan, and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. So I believe the guy said, well, spirits can't walk. Well, when you look up that word walk or walking, the word means to, let me get it. The word in the Hebrew is halak, which means to go. To go, walk, come, to go, walk, come, depart, proceed, move, go away. Move meaning to move, to hover. It said that the spirits in Genesis, the first chapter, that they moved. Matter of fact, let me get that. And that's the word marakapath. And that word marakapath means to hover, and we give that word to a particular people on the planet Earth. And I'm not going to go any further into that. If you know, if you've been around us, you know that we use that term marakapath on a particular people. Anyway, so let me go to Genesis. And let me give you the word. Okay, it's in the second verse. Genesis. And there's a lot of people, you'll ask these wacky ass Christians if they're not really deep, even the ones that claim to be deep. Genesis 1 verse 1, it said in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Ask them, what does that mean? What does it mean by God? And if they understood the scriptures, and you say, well, what does it say in the original Hebrew? And they won't know because they don't understand the Hebrew. It says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of the Most High moved upon the face of the waters. So we said one of the definitions of walking in Job was at 1 verse 7 is move, to go, to move. Now this word moved is, I'm going to show you, it's marakapath. I'm sorry. It's rakapath. Marakapath means marakapa means to move, or ma means from move. Rakapa, which is to grow, to hover. The word there is to hover. So they moved in the form of hovering. So now we can go back to where the hell is it? Okay. So the word for walk in Job chapter 1 means to go, to traverse, to walk about, to lead, bring, lead, away, carry, cause to walk, to go, come, depart, proceed, move, go away. So spirits move. So now let's go back to Okay, we're back in the scriptures. And Satan comes up a bunch of times in Job, the first chapter, and in the second chapter as well. So we're going to move from that. And anytime it's there a bunch of times, anytime it mentions Satan in the book of Job, it's talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Now it says here in Psalms 109 verse 6, set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. That's the spiritual demon Satan. And Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, can work through the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. That's why these elite, they worship spirits on the left-hand side. And they call him Lucifer. And Lucifer, they call him Lucifer like there's a Satan's name is Lucifer. No, Lucifer, that goes to the so-called white man. It says, Zechariah 3 verse 1, and he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. So that's Satan standing on his right hand to resist the angel. That's not talking about Esau, the so-called white man. That's talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Zechariah 3 verse 2. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Yahweh rebuked thee, O Satan. He ain't talking about no white man in a business suit with 666 in the back of his head. Like these Christians that don't understand the scriptures, they'll say the Antichrist is a man with a suit on, or Edomite with a suit on. Even Yahweh that hath chosen Jerusalem rebuked thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? So that brand plucked out of the fire is Joshua the high priest. This is Matthew 4 verse 10. Then said Yahweh Shai unto him, get thee hence, Satan. He's talking to the spiritual demon Satan. For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So that's talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Matthew 12 verse 26. And if Satan be cast out of, if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Now this is obviously talking about kingdoms, and kingdoms are ruled by men. So we read a handful of scriptures, and we can see that sometimes the word Satan is talking about a spiritual demon Satan, and sometimes it's talking about a man or men or a nation. Matthew 16 verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art, and this is our Lord talking to Peter, thou art an offense unto me, for thou thou servest not the things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men. So Satan was on Peter at that time, influencing him. Mark 1 verse 13. And he was there in the wilderness 40 days, tempted of Satan, not talking about the so-called white man or man, talking about the spirit. And was, in other words, the Lord wasn't up in the mountains 40 days, 40 nights on the fast, and Satan will all of a sudden make a Krispy Kreme donuts disappear and say, would you like some? No, it ain't talking about the way. It's talking about the spirit, the influence of the spirit of Satan, and was with the wild beasts, and the angels ministered unto him. I'm not going to read all these scriptures. I'm kind of jumping around. And all I did was put in the word Satan in the search engine of the blue letter, and all these scriptures popped up. This is Mark 4 verse 15. Mark 4 verse 15. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their heart. Now that's talking about the spiritual demon Satan. That's why guys, when they fall off, whatever they learned, they throw it back out. A lot of guys, you had a bunch of people that left, well, a handful of people that left IUIC, and they, whatever they learned from IUIC, whether they was in there for 10 years or 5 years, they basically threw it all out, and now they're coming against IUIC. You know, not saying that IUIC teach lie, but they don't teach. They teach you that you're Israelites. They teach about 90. We teach about the same stuff that they teach, 90%, 95%, but they go off on a couple of things. Example, the mark of the beast. For one, it says Mark 8 verse 33. But when he had turned about and looked on his disciples, he rebuked Peter, saying, "Get thee behind me, Satan." So he was talking to the demon that was influencing Peter. For thou severest not the things that be of the Most High, but the things that be of men. And there's another, the same scripture in Luke 4 verse 8. Luke 10 verse 18. And this is the Lord speaking. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Now that's talking about Esau's power structure. And what he meant by that was, if you go to Revelation, the 12th chapter, it speaks about a war. Satan and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. The dragon is obviously talking about NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the up and coming Space Force. Now, if this clown Trump actually succeeds in setting up a Space Force, well, that's the force that's going to fight the angels and get destroyed. And there will be no place found in heaven. Luke 11 verse 18, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? So in this, we're right in the time of the division of America, or Babylon. You have, for the most part, you have the Democrats, and then you have the Republicans, and they're dead set against each other, man. You have Edomites that are on the Democratic side, and then you have Edomites that are on the Republican side. So that's Satan. That's this kingdom being divided. So it says, how can it stand? And it can't stand. Luke 13 verse 16. And ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, meaning an Israelite, whom Satan hath bound, was it the white man locked her up, bound her up with tape? No, it was talking about the spiritual demon Satan, which bound her in the spiritually bound her. Lo, these 18 years be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath day. It says Luke 22 verse 3. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. So what influenced Judas Iscariot to do what he did? Satan. And after Satan jumped off of him, what did he do? He was guilty about it, and he killed himself. And that's a whole another video right there when it says that his guts came out. That means he was guilty. You know, if you guilty of something and they make you confess and you spill your guts, well, they use those terminologies back then. It says Luke 22 verse 31, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath, now that's a spiritual demon, Satan, hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat, destroy you. John 13 verse 27, and after the sup, Satan entered into him, then said our Lord unto him, that thou doeth, do quickly. He's talking to Judas Iscariot at the supper, at the Passover, before they grabbed the Lord. So the Lord said when he saw Satan in him, the demon, the spiritual demon in him, influencing him, he said, go ahead and do what you got to do, and do it quickly. Go ahead and fulfill that prophecy. Acts 5 verse 3. But Peter said, Ananias, why hath Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back part of the price of the land? That's spiritual demon Satan. Acts 26 verse 18. To open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto the Most High. Influenced by the spiritual demon Satan. And the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, because you have these churches. When we were all children, we were taught mainly by our mothers, because your fathers never really went to church. It was your mothers that mostly went to church. You would go to a church with a white Edomite pastor, and you'd see a picture of Caesar Borgia, and you really thought that was the Lord. That's how fucked up we were. So what did the Lord do when we grew into this thing? To open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light. So when any nigga that follows Edomite so-called Jesus and follows the white man and communes with, commiserates with Edomites, Satan is definitely on you, man. Satan is definitely on you. Let me see if I can find that picture. I'll put it up. This is 25 minutes in. There's a particular guy that Satan is definitely dealing with. This guy, this Jake. Anyway, it says to open their eyes, and that's our job when we go out there. And you're in the Islam, or you're in the Moors, or you're in the Kemet, or you're a Christian, or you're a Baptist, or Roman Catholic, whatever the hell you are. When we teach you, it's to bring you out of that darkness into the light. And if you check it out, most Israelites were at one time once Christians. Even Islam, Jakes that are into Islam or Kemet, they'll all tell you their roots go back to Christianity. They all come out of the church. And from the power of Satan unto the Most High, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance. Who's going to get inheritance? Israelites among them, which are sanctified by faith that is in me. The guy that was with vocab that day, he kept saying, why do you believe this? And I kept saying faith. So he asked me another way. I kept saying faith. Everything is based upon faith. Because at one time we had faith that when the Most High came back, he's going to be looking like a Edomite. And then the Most High took us from darkness into light. Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 5 verse 5. This is the Apostle Paul. And he delivered Satan to certain guys, Alexander and Hymenaeus, with two of them. It says matter of fact, let me go a verse above that. I'll start at 4. In the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, when ye are gathered together, and my spirit with the power of our Lord Yahweh Shai to deliver such an one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh, to kill him, and that the spirit may be saved in the day of Yahweh Shai. So that's Satan is talking about the spiritual demon Satan. First Corinthians 7 verse 5, defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time. And that's talking about, when you read a couple of verses above that, that's talking about a man and a woman. When they separate themselves from having sex, they might fast, they might both be believers, but they should come back together and have sex so that the spiritual demon Satan won't put thoughts in their mind to go out and deal with someone else. It says, and that causes adultery. It says that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer and come together again, meaning having sex again, that Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, tempt you not for your incontinency. A little tongue twisted here. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. You can read it verse or 2 above that. It says, lest Satan should, matter of fact, I am going to do that. Verse 2 Corinthians 2 verse 10. To whom you forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgive anything, or forgave everything, to whom I forgave it, for our sakes forgave I it in the person of Yahweh Shai, lest Satan should get an advantage, and that's a spiritual demon Satan, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay, let's go to we're in 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'll start at the 6th verse. It says, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. That's Paul speaking about the Roman Empire. And when you read from the first verse, this is him getting the Israelites in Thessalonica ready for this. The Romans are going to come up against them, come up against the Israelites. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. The mystery of iniquity is the Roman Empire. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So he's in power even unto this day. And when this man goes out, the Most High is going to take him out in his time. 8 verse, 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 8. And then shall that wicked, who is a wicked, read Malachi 1, be revealed. And he's being revealed. We pointing to Esau, and we're telling them that they're Edomites, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And how is the Most High speaking to the world? Through us. He's using us. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. It says in Matthew 24, this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, oikomene, for the word world, from the Greek, and then shall the end come. So this is the same statement spoken in a different way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And they're being consumed with the spirit of the Most High's mouth, because the Most High is speaking to us, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So after we finish our testimony, then pushing the Most High's word, then he's going to actually come and destroy this place. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So the spiritual demon works with the so-called white man. That's why the elite, they follow spiritual guides on the left-hand side. They're not praying to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So I showed you a handful of scriptures showing you that the word Satan. Oh, here's another one. Revelation 20 verse 2, and then we're going to jump down to Revelation 20 verse 7. And he said, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. And the dragon is not the Antichrist. It's Esau's, it's the Edomite power structure. That old serpent, another way of saying the devil, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And that's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. That's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which are Edomites. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan, which is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, shall be loose out of his prison. So when was he loose? During the time of Christopher Columbus, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, during that time when they took down the Moors, when they took down the last stronghold of the Moors, which was Granada, and they sailed to the other side of the world. That's when they deceived the nation through their so-called Christianity. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom and it's on to the next one.